keep coming back to you. I keep coming back to you.
Hello, Internet World! Welcome to another episode of TV Nerdz. This is the Esoteric Child. I'm here with, I guess we would call you a guest, Icey LeBenjamin.
I'm here because Gabe can't. He keeps having vacations.
Yeah. Y'all give this man too much PTO, bro.
This man, he got money, bro. I can't.
Y'all give this man too much PTO, bro.
He keeps. Look, he's in and out and in, and then I have to fill in, and then we're gonna have to deal with this next year. All his family members is like one in January, one in February, one in March, two in this one. I was like, oh my God. And then they all go out. All of them.
That's wild.
But how you been, man?
Been straight, tired. Everyday life shit while we try and get this going.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it be.
Mm-hmm. I've just been watching TV. Been catching up.
You finally watching TV? Because you always talking about you don't never watch TV because you're doing this.
Well, I mean, I can't say I'm watching TV. I'm listening to TV in the background while I'm working on something else.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, I still catching everything. I mean, it's not the vibe I want to go with, but if I want to keep up with what's going on, put some on in the background.
I don't know. I could never do that. I guess it's probably why, I'd be hesitant to start something because it's like if it's something old or something I've seen before, I'll just let it run in the background because I already know visually what's gonna happen, all this other stuff. But if it's a new show, and there's a lot of new shows I really want to catch up on, but it's like I have to be stationary and really pay attention. Because nowadays shows have so much hidden gems, and it's like you want to catch that too. So
I'll make time for that. I'll make time for that. I'll take some time out and maybe dedicate an hour to 2 hours. Movies starting to get fucking long as shit. I was appreciating the hour and 30-minute movie, and then now these bad boy be 3. Every movie about 3-4 hours. I'm like, God damn.
That was probably the only one that was 3 hours.
No. How long was Hustle? You saw Hustle?
No, I haven't seen Hustle.
Okay, Hustle was about almost 2 and some change, because it went through the whole story.
I think it's also I think it's mainly comic book movies that are starting to get that.
No, because Netflix now has a category for short movies, and short movies for them is our old movies from the 90s. Because it was 90 minutes. Yeah. I'm good with a 90-minute. Man, if you
get the story out in 90 minutes, that's something.
Son, bring 90-minute movies back, bro. Because I can knock out 2 of those.
There are some good movies that are 2 hours.
But I don't need every movie to go deep into details. Like
this week, I watched the Throwback. I watched the Negotiator with Samuel Jackson. I fucks with that movie. It still hits to this day.
Okay, I'll give you that.
And that's a 2 hour movie. That's 2 hours 20 minutes. And there's a reason why too.
There's certain movies that need the 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then there's certain movies be my man. If you look at Hustle, there's probably 5-6 scenes in there that was doubled. Cause he got in, cause it was loaded up with all the NBA stars on there. I think it was Wiggins that played the.
Wiggins?
Yeah, I think he played the prospect. Don't quote me on that, but they had 2 battles, one-on-one plays, and the same outcome happened. I was like, you could have left one off. If the same outcome was going to happen, you could have left one off.
So is Hustle a sports movie, or is it just?
Yeah, it's Adam Sandler's movie, plus I think executive producers are LeBron and a few other people. So it's a whole NBA collaborative movie.
It's a basketball movie.
Yeah, it's a basketball movie. And this dude that's from Spain, that's supposed to be the next nigga. And then Adam hears about it, goes across there, brings him back, and then tries to try him out into the NBA league, but they hit with so many pitfalls. So it was heartfelt.
I think
he might get an Oscar for this one.
I mean, I think what they were trying to do, like based off your description, I think what they're basically trying to do is just literally show like how the NBA is going now. Because I mean, you're getting a lot of these like people, these superstars who are coming from different leagues. Like you got some people coming from the D League, some people coming from playing overseas, and it's just people like there's reasons why they got the D League, they got all these other different leagues. Because getting to the actual NBA where you got like all these millions that's coming to you or whatever, it takes fucking work.
It does.
Like you're lucky. Like honestly, people like you think like, oh, it's just a straight shot just going to college. No, you're lucky if you go the high school, college route to the NBA.
And then that's also without injuries, without any
like having to redshirt your senior year or some shit like that.
Right.
Like it takes work and it's almost impossible.
But I hate the fact that there's only one method with just school.
There's not really one method.
Well, I mean, beforehand, you know, I know we're now breaking out of that. Yeah. Now we're getting high school kids that can now get money off of their name and likeness and stuff.
I mean, I think
couldn't
that
do
should
that.
have been that.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, like people have said this all the time, but like colleges make millions. Like these D1 schools, they make millions off of, you know, all this everything for sports having to be broadcast on TV. Like,
right.
And you telling me like this kid still got to eat ramen noodles? Like, come on.
Right, and then I'm talking about struggling. I feel like that,
and that's really why like a lot of these kids, like when they get recognized, that they get that much recognition, they'll leave college to go to the NBA because they like, yo, I ain't got to struggle no more.
Right, and then it might be too early, and it might be a little too late at certain points when they come out of college, because once you move up to the to the NBA, that's a whole nother. They got fast breaks, and they're just now changing rules where you can't even. What is it?
Stutter step or like.
What I think it was like, kind of putting yourself into it where you
pivot.
Yeah, I forgot what
it's
move it is.
I think it's something because of the whole thing with Jalen Hart. Like you can't like push yourself when you're try and get an N1.
Yeah. So they're changing the sport as it going. So you can't. Once you come from college, boom, it turns.
And you got to quickly learn that and just adjust.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why, like, I'm surprised when it came to like people like Kobe and LeBron who just went from high school to the NBA.
They had to eat.
But even still, like for someone like LeBron, like just from high school straight to NBA, and you just balling, like that's a lot you got to learn. You got a lot you got to adjust to.
But at the end of the day, as much as you go to this school and all this other stuff, the main objective is make money. And it's just like they're making all these little stipulations to try to make some money. But like, hey, just let me make some fucking money. Like if you think I'm developed at, I don't know, 10th grade, and you think I'm ready to play in with the big boys and it can be lucrative for me, then try it out. I mean, I know that's a little early, but at the same time, it's like if the end goal is to make money, then let's put these people in a position to make money, not just give them a bunch of tools and then go, hey, go figure it out. Make no damn sense. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
They put you in these, and they're trying to create manufactured pressure. That's the pissed off part. So it's just like, I think something will kick into you and say, hey, let's start doing something that is going to be like, next level. But when you put all these barriers, sometimes that kicks your ass. You're like, oh, shit, I got to climb that mountain. Then I got to climb that one after that. And then I got to do another one. You get less inspired to do what the fuck you want to do. And then you draw back.
Yo, speaking of sports, because I've been noticing this like every weekend, but now they're really starting to really push like televising the I think it's the USFL, like the NFL, like it's another like football league instead of like the NFL. I think it's the USFL. It's just a whole nother. It's a whole nother football league or nothing. It's not like the XFL or nothing like that, but it's
same
it's kind
game.
of the same thing, but it's just not as It doesn't have the same recognition or same like drawing power as NFL. But
It
like,
just started.
this is the first time I've been seeing it. Like every single weekend, every time I go to work, I see like a game on. I'm just like, so there's really gonna be now every weekend is gonna be more football, even after the NFL season.
Well,
And
I
I'm
mean,
just thinking it's probably the same thing like when it comes to basketball when it has these different leagues or these different leagues. But I'm just wondering, are we gonna see like some more athletes come from this division to the NFL?
I personally think we should just make our own fucking league and say the hell with fucking NBA. Because if the idea, again, back to the number one thing is if the idea is to make some motherfucking money, let's put that like put more investment in the big three. But I wouldn't.
I mean, the big three were like retired.
Yeah, but like maybe he should come up with a like if you already got that game going and you got maybe have another league if you already know how to run one, you know, or put somebody in place to run the prospect league where everybody can come into this thing. Cause I'll tell you what, them and-ones was special as fuck. Anything that was done on Rutgers was special as fuck. Like just cause you got a fancy ass building and some fancy cameras don't mean nothing. Okay, Snow on the Bluff still hit. Okay,
Of course.
okay, and it didn't have no production at all. Okay, it's just some niggas with a camera, and that shit was like I've probably watched it probably like
it's
5,
that's
6
really what I'm
times.
saying is like stories better than just production. I think that's really why the movie industry is just the way it is now, because it's like they're just so focused on okay, what's gonna make this a blockbuster film? Like how much CGI are we gonna use? Like just get down to the story. Like what is this whole like? At the end of the day, it's like is the story make sense?
I think CGI sometimes hold you back. When you plan, like you can tell people when people are doing movies and planning for CGI to be in there versus just writing a damn story and then
it's like,
wait for
okay.
it to come to you.
And the CGI comes like last minute, like this like last.
Yeah, but like, hey, I can't create this in real life, so now let's use CGI versus, oh, we gotta use
CGI
for this scene, and it was like, why? For what reason? You know,
That's why I'm also low key like I'm still gonna see it, but I'm low key hesitant to see this next Jurassic Park movie.
I'm a little tapped. I'm a little tapped on Jurassic Park.
I'm not. I like the Jurassic Park franchise. I think the last Jurassic World movie, like that one was just it was all over the place.
Yeah, it was alright.
But this third one seems like it'll be legit.
Maybe I'm just not into dinosaurs no more.
I'm
just out.
I was a dinosaur kid when I was growing up. So
I
it's
was
like,
too. I'm now exploring space a bit. I was like anything that I was as a kid off of, I'm now on, and then vice versa. What I did like, I do not like barely anymore. I was big on basketball, big on football, big on baseball. If it made just normal sense, I was on it. And then now that we're jumping into these metaverses and time travel and downloading your brain to a computer and all these other things, like I'm like, damn, this is fascinating as fuck. Like you got to figure out what the fuck everything got in that world.
If I ever download my brain into a computer and I'm still broke, I'm gonna be pissed as fuck. Like honest, I'm like imagine being homeless.
That would suck.
Imagine you homeless in real life, then you get into the metaverse and you homeless.
You still broke.
Like, bro, it's like,
Oh,
but I might
that's
live a little bit longer because my conscience is in the computer. Like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, you wouldn't need no food.
I mean,
You wouldn't have to shit.
but who knows how that might be in the metaverse? Because what if they try to make it like Sims and you have to eat something or you fucking die? If they make it like Sims, that'd be fucked up.
But how? Because if you digitally download it, it wouldn't be like. Why would you make me eat digital food, you wouldn't have to produce anything. That's overhead. Right now we get like in the world right now we got so much overhead for food and merchandise and clothes and shoes and everything. We've got so much overhead. Making the metaverse is just eliminating all the overhead. You wouldn't need no shoes because it's digital. You wouldn't need no clothes because they're digital.
You can still get stuff in the metaverse. You can still get shoes and clothes in the metaverse, though. So.
No, I'm pretty sure you still buy it. But what I'm saying is, it wouldn't like once you buy it, those shoes are gonna be good for life. The expiration won't be there because it's like, you mean they're gonna digitally make them scuffed up too?
They really trying to make your real life into the metaverse. Like, yeah.
Like they gonna put the problems in there too
like you
with
still
it.
Gotta clean it. Like you still gotta take a shower in the metaverse every time.
That's so dumb. That's so dumb. Oh, if they did that, it'd be like, why? Why would y'all? Why would you make another
in the real world?
I could. Yeah.
You made Earth 2.0.
Right. With more problems, more fucked up. I told them
I need more VC just to fix these fucking problems. Just imagine that.
VC. God dang it. I stopped getting into that because like when I play Call of Duty, I don't play that often. I'm a like sporadic player now. And when I catch every now and again when I get on and Gabe is on there, you know, he done bought the King Kong,
new DLC, all that stuff.
Yeah, all the DLC packs. And as he keep I'm like, how much money are you spending, dog? Like, they done.
I miss back in the day when like all the like stuff like that you had to play through
to get it unlocked. Yeah,
like, you had to unlock it by playing.
Right now, it just be like, hey, you got cash?
Just buy it.
I mean, I kind of like that.
And it's mainly just skins and new guns.
I mean, I kind of like that too, to a certain degree, because it's like, if I need that one gun that's gonna be that gas, boom, purchase it. Why I gotta go through all the plan if I want my gas gun?
Man, but nah, people who used to play to unlock shit, their skills were wild because you had to play on a different difficulty or something like that. Like, oh, beat this level at the hardest level and you unlock this. You know, and then most of the time, like you see that he unlocked that, it's like, yo, this guy's gonna be a problem. This guy got some skills.
That used to be me, and then I just dedicated my life to this stuff. You know, just like fuck video games for the time being. Like I'm still there. If I can get me a Assassin's Creed, we'll be in there, because I haven't played the last 3 titles.
The last Assassin's Creed I played was Origins.
I want it too. I know the price is low.
Yeah, you can still get Origins.
Yeah, but it's when you playing a long ass game like that, that's almost like dedicating time to a TV show. But worse, because you got to actually go through the levels and the headaches.
I was in college when I played it, but like I think I had like way more time than I do now. But like I think I beat it in like 2-3 weeks. And
for me today, that's a long time for me today, because I won't be able to just play straight through, no, all day, nothing going on, and just sit in one space. That's not happening. So I have to put like an hour, 2 hours in, and then put it up, and then throw another 2 hours. So it'll probably take me a year, but I'll be okay with doing that and just going at my own pace, because it's a single player, ain't nobody else on.
Yeah.
I'll do something like that, but it's hard to get into any new games. Like, I know I see them, and it'd be some interesting ones I see as titles. I'm like,
with me, it's like you have to really catch me, or like you have to really catch my interest for me to just get a game, because it's like
that's 60 bones. That's
not
60
not even
bones.
That, it's like if it's that and then I don't like it, it's like, bruh.
Right, 60 gone.
With that.
And then they're trying to get you with this digital download thing too, so it's like
hey,
a refund don't really happen.
Like you got more levels if you do the season pass. I'm like, bro, if I don't like the game as it is now, why am I gonna get a season pass? Like, ain't no way.
I still haven't even got the season pass for Call of Duty. I just get on. I got my gas gun.
When it comes to Call of Duty, they put out a new Call of Duty every year, so it's like I'm not gonna get the season pass for
I'm
a
not.
Call of Duty game. I'm never. I don't care what it comes with. Like, just I'm cool with the basic.
Let me buy my gas gun, and then I'm good to go. I might even put some lights on it, and then that'd be about it.
Because if you gonna have me spend another $60, if I'm even interested in the next Call of Duty,
right?
You know,
and then now
next year,
and they relaunching shit now, like they old Jordans or some shit. Hey, we got Call of Duty 2 coming back. Pow, nigga, didn't we just play this?
I think with that, it's gonna be the same thing with the last Modern Warfare. Like they had a different story with Modern Warfare instead of it just being Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. But I think with Modern Warfare, it's gonna be a new game, a new campaign mode for Modern Warfare. But it's just everybody's gonna go to the multiplayer. And that's all. We already know they're gonna go to multiplayer. So
that's all we want. If you would just cut half of that price out and then be like, hey, that's $30 for the multiplayer, $30 if you want to play the campaign, and then free for the Warzone. We good.
I think that's the whole thing with Warzone too, because it's like
I got $30. I don't got 60. 60 for some odd reason just hurts a lot more. Like I'm from the era of when video games was $25.
And then if you want,
okay, a whole $100. Let me get 4.
$15 for this game, like.
So, oh yeah, if it was a mediocre game, but it was still like a good gas play, it was like $15. And if it was a high title like No Mercy or New Game or something like that, a good 25. If it was like a holiday, it was like 30.
I mean, that's when you go to consoles. Like when I was first going on, like right after PlayStation, I was more in the handheld game. So with like
that was $100 for the Game Boy.
Yeah, but them games were like a good quick 5, maybe 10.
Oh yeah.
So like you can stock up on all the games. You can have all the Pokemon. You like $5 here.
Here's a 50.
$6 here. You know.
Let me get that Pokemon Red.
But then when I got my DS and I found out like
I never touched it.
Yeah, I had a DS, and then I was like, I was like, oh, I want to go to Toys R Us get another game from a DS. He's like, all right. I got $5 from whatever, my little piggy bank. I'm just like, and my sister went, wait a second, you need more than that. I'm like, what? It's like, nah, games ain't $5 no more. I'm like, you should have seen my face. I'm just like,
yeah.
He's like, yeah, them games cost them. Like, I'm thinking I'm gonna get like a couple games. Like, I got my wallet, my little wallet. I'm just like, and I seen the price on just one game. I'm like, let me just get this one. The whole experience was just.
I never touched the DS because by that time I got out of Nintendo, and then that's when I got into the PSP. I got the PSP and then the PS. What was it? Vita. Yeah, the Vita. Via.
I got my DS like right before I got a PSP. That was like right before PSP came out. 'Cause, yeah, I got right back into PlayStation. Like, and when the PSP came out, and then when the PS3 came out, I'm just like, okay, back to consoles.
I bought a PS3, and then I didn't necessarily like it, like all that, and then I had to pay a bill, so I was like, let me go and take this bitch back, and then I got an Xbox and that, and then I was just like, yeah, this feels like home. And PlayStation just don't feel like it was. It didn't feel me.
I've had every single PlayStation console except the 2 because when the PS2 came out, like everybody had the PS2. So I knew somebody who had a PS2.
The 2 was that gas.
I didn't necessarily need a PS2, but I played a lot of PS2 classics, so I know exactly.
PS2 was that gas, nigga. Grand Theft Auto 3. Definitely.
San Andreas on PS2, like
San Andreas, of course. I think they had transferred the 2Ks over there to that console, if I'm not mistaken. Or am I?
I think 2K really got popular when the Xbox and PS2s were coming out. Like, yeah, that's when 2K really was getting popular.
You're right. Because 2K was still with Dreamcast, and then they lost. No. That's right. Because it was like the tail end of it.
They had it for for the first PlayStation 2, but it was more like NBA Live.
Oh yeah, I
NBA,
forgot about Live.
It was NBA Live that was more the popular
Yo,
one
fucking Live. Live was my shit. I liked Live over 2K for me at the time. At the time. Like now,
they don't
2K
even really
got
have,
it.
They don't even really have NBA Live. Like they may have NBA Live, but it's like it's not the same thing as 2K. They're not putting the same effort in NBA Live as they are in 2K.
They still pumping out Maddens though. Madden's still getting that gas.
Yeah, Madden's been around since the first PlayStation.
They ain't getting rid of Madden.
I remember I think it was 98 or something like that. And it was the one when they had John Madden on there. When they first was dropping Maddens, all they had was John Madden on the cover. They didn't really had other players on the cover until like later on.
Yeah, when they had like 13 teams.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Now for the new Madden that's coming out, they have John Madden on the cover. And, just to honor him.
Tough acting to acting. The good old days.
Yep.
I was watching last night, just going in through like the wormhole, went through the YouTube wormhole, and I got on old cigarette commercials. Them bitches was funny. Okay. They was so generic. Get you a Kent cigarette. Smooth. Calm. Good filter.
That's wild. They really had commercials just to convince you to have a freaking cigarette. But nah. And then the next one will be one of those stop tobacco commercials.
Mm-hmm.
And those commercials will just be wild. Like you'll literally, like the ones with the lady with the hole in her throat, it's just like.
Oh yeah, that used to come on what's it at the beginning of movies right before, because it was like right before too. DVDs got popular, but it was still on old cassette tapes.
Yeah.
You mess around and end up like me.
And you just had that one guy's like, be careful shaving. It's just that those days were wild. And you just really had that one guy who was like had the thing, the little thing to his throat now. Because he had he's like, I had to keep this in because I have a hole in my throat.
Did you remember the one
I used to smoke 10 cigarettes a day.
You remember the one the one where the dude and this other dude was like singing the song, was like, I hate tobacco. That
was the most fucked up commercial ever.
The commercials, and then you remember the ones that came from our day where we were like, hey, this is your brain on drugs, and then they crack an egg and then throw it in the pot. I was like, damn, that's your brain on drugs? And then as you get an adult, be like, man, I ain't never had none of that shit ever.
I think that's where they came up with the slang term fried.
Yeah, but it was like, what? Nah.
They being too dramatic with this shit right now.
I think somebody was like, whoever the writers was for that, it was like, oh, I got this. That was a good one right there. Hold on.
Like anything to make them stop.
That's a good play on words. Hold on, let me write that down. Bet.
Nah, they had some funny ones too. Like it was like, like they had one where they were just singing. Like you remember the ones where it's like they were just singing? Like it was one where it's like, if you like they say if you don't smoke, you'll beat your wife. And it's like, if you smoke, it'll take your life. But if you don't, you might beat your wife. It's like, wait, that makes no sense. Like
they used to come up with the most dumbest jingles to come up with a commercial. And then they'll try to make the words kind of fit into a rhyme. And just because you went high pitch and be like, that don't even rhyme with that.
It don't even make sense.
Yeah, it was a good little bit of.
No, there were some that were actually scared. Like it was, I wouldn't say scary, but it was like, well, if you were like a little kid, it would probably freak you out. Like, and they always had those on the little kid channel too.
Yeah,
like they had the one where it's like, you want a pack of cigarettes? It's like, you don't got enough. He's like, hold up, and he took his teeth out, and he was like, smoking causes you to lose your teeth. I was like, Really? It's like this.
Man, my uncle's still kicking out here, boy, with his same teeth too.
He smoke a pack a day or something?
Yeah, he was smoking a pack right before he died. He still had his original teeth. That's just it's just anomalies. Certain people got certain things, and then those people went out. But
And they'll like generalize the whole thing just to.
man, I've seen old Mexican grandma smoke like a chimney, and just I mean the voice that part is true.
Yeah, the voice will fuck you up.
And then like you do see every now and again you'll have those people with the voice box, but it'd be like. I don't know. They was doing that, and then they was doing other things that might cause that same reaction too. Just be like, that's not everybody. That's just a few folks. Homeboy like 100 and still smoking, and just like. But it went from the smoking commercials, and then it moved over to the kid commercials, which was like the Gushers commercial. I felt nostalgia as a motherfucker. It hit the Gushers commercials. That's like
all the Gushers commercials were just trippy as fuck.
Right,
honestly,
they'll eat that, and then their head turn into whatever fruit it was, and I was just like, okay, I want fucked up. I want to go to the store, go buy some of these, so I can get my head turned into this. I was like, what? It ain't working. I must not. Man, this pack. They still fire though.
Yeah, it's just that's just. You know, it's some party. Yo, the fruit by the foot commercials was lit too.
It wasn't even that damn long either.
It was
talking about a foot.
Like it literally was not even like. Even when you stretch it, I was like, this is not even a full foot.
Right, man. I was just like, man, and it'll roll out about right here. As an adult, that is not long. As a kid, boy, it stretch out here to the table, out to the wall. You be like, damn, that's long, boy. Damn, that's a. And then because you only bought this high, it's drooping on the floor, man. As you get older, and I pulled out my sons when he had his, he used to eat them bad boys. I was just like,
I think they make. I think they've been making things shorter.
It might be.
Like I'm not convinced that it's just because I'm bigger now that things look smaller. Like, bro, they just really just over time just shortened it, but kept the same.
So
price.
the whole world just in on the same secret, huh?
Like the same thing with like pizza sizes. Like when I was little, dude, a large pizza was like huge. Now look at a large pizza. I'm just like, this is not. And people just always try to convince like, nah, it's just because you're bigger.
Man, I went
to
went to my elementary school gymnasium. I was like, dang, this bitch small as a bitch. It felt like I had so much room in here. So much room, but it was like just a small room that was like that was carpeted. And I was like, you right. Why would you carpet a whole gymnasium? That would be stupid, huh? It was just like it was almost like I think it was like almost like an area that as big as what you would put horses in, but it was made like a gymnasium and then had some carpet in there. So I was like, but when I revisited, I was like,
is it a process to revisit like your old school, like old elementary school? So like, 'cause you know with these things like you know all these like restrictions and everything. And now it's
not during school hours.
And now it's getting worse with mass shootings. Like
not with
you
school
can't just
hours.
walk in and just look around and shit.
Yeah, not with school hours. I'm saying like if you want to come in there and it'd be like, hey, they gone from the school. Teachers are still gonna be there until about like 7 because they got to do whatever pre-work to do for the next day over. So, but yeah, it was nothing but it was like, hey, can I come in? And it was like, yeah,
get you a little visitor's pass or whatever.
Yeah, got me. I mean, I did it before this craziness with the mass shootings got like out of hand. So I'm pretty sure now I'm probably going to have to go through some like crazy protocol just to visit. But it was I was still at the same height, so it didn't. I'm pretty sure it ain't changed. It's probably even smaller. Maybe mentally, I might be tapping that out. But yeah. Anything else?
Not really, man. I mean, So with Avatar, I don't know if you heard or not, but
Avatar,
The Last Airbender,
Okay,
not
all right,
the
all right.
not the other one.
I heard
know
the other one
we've
finna get
already
ready to
talked
come.
about that. They're going to be a
I
sequel.
heard
to
it's
the
on
next
the
one.
way.
Yep, I think it's next year they're going to have that. But yep, but with Avatar: Last Airbender, apparently they're already in the works with three new animated movies or just animated series that has to do with the Avatar: Last Airbender.
Who's producing that? Nickelodeon.
I think it's mostly Nickelodeon.
Okay.
But it's all within the Avatar: Last Airbender studio. Like they have their own studio and everything. So
Oh shit!
they just got.
I haven't been keeping up with it.
Yeah, they got 3 animated projects coming out. I'm low-key excited, but I'm just like, how much? Like, I know within the whole Last Airbender universe, it's just so much because they have its own comics and everything. Just there's they've been doing so much to keep the story going, and it's just so. But it's like you got that, then you got the Netflix live action, series that's gonna come. It's just.
How you think they're gonna do on that?
I hope that, cause I have less faith in it because of what happened when Nickelodeon did their live action movie.
What live action movie?
Remember, like it was like
with M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah,
that was M. Night Shyamalan.
No,
I mean it was Nickelodeon produced,
Yeah.
but it was M. Night Shyamalan's vision. That was his movie.
It was Nickelodeon, and they did the Last Airbender. That was like after Avatar came out, like the actual Avatar, like the blue people. That's after they came out, so they couldn't use the Avatar name. So they just said Last Airbender.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that was M. Night. That was M. Night. I despise him. That's why I know that was his movie. Because he does a great movie, but he always gets shitty on the end.
I did not watch it, but I was just like, honestly, when I saw how they were gonna do with the waterbenders, especially for the Northern Water Tribe, I'm just like,
and it didn't even finish it. They only did one.
Can't do it.
So it's like it was shitty. I fell asleep a couple times.
So like because of that, I just feel like for certain things they need to keep it animated. Like especially when it comes to these like animes, they're trying to do these live action animes. Like just keep them animated.
They can, but they need to let the Chinese or the Japanese, whoever's doing these things out of their area,
the original
yes,
writers, the original producers, let them do it.
I mean, not even just that. I'm saying when it comes to CGI, China and Japan are way breaknecks ahead.
Really?
They just bad with acting. The rest of the stuff that they do is a little off.
I'm not sure about that because I mean, when they had a live action Attack on Titan, and that was trash. The CGI for that was trash.
I didn't say they can do everything.
Like, come on.
But I'm saying as far as like, if you give, I'll say this, if you give like without being, I guess, racist, if you give like an American storyline and then have the Chinese on the CGI part, I think those are a good combination. To have the vision, like, hey, this is how, because you can't make an American movie without an American on it or having some type of influence in it, because if you miss the culture, you might miss all our culture. Because if you make it for Britain, then when we watch it from over here, we were like, all right, we got to realize how, like, they're supposed to be on the opposite side of the street. Yeah. So we have to kind of adjust our mind for their world. Like, okay, that makes sense. Why? That's doing that. But if we have somebody on their side make a movie for our side, they have to like either get an American writer.
They have to know our customs and everything.
Or they have to come in and then, live for about a couple of years and engulf into the culture. Because if you don't know what we're talking about, you'll miss the whole boat. You're like, what? What do you say? Cut this bitch off.
Yeah, but I mean, with the one for Netflix, I think they have the original writers, the original producers on it, so I have a little bit more faith, but I gotta see.
I mean, Netflix been hitting now. I ain't gonna lie, they been hitting. Fucking the Jamie Foxx movie with Power and
Oh yeah, Power was a good movie. Project Power. That was a
Project
good movie.
Power, yeah. What else they did? Hustle was fucking good. There was a few other ones. I will give a slight nod. I ain't gonna say it was great, but a slight nod to 365. The first, the second one can go shit.
You
own
you
body.
literally shitted on those on those
I
365
hate it.
movies so much, but you said the first one's good.
First one was palatable. You can get you can get the gist of how it was palatable. It was still stupid. Girl get kidnapped and then love it.
I mean, for the past like couple of like Netflix movies that have came out and that I've seen reviews or hear from the internet people review on them, they always shit on them. Like the girl from across the street, you know.
Oh, that was gas. That was gas. Just the ending was fucked up. The ending was just fucked up. Oh, that was gas. I'll get out of 10.
It had you sitting there like, huh? What? Wait.
And be like, I bet it was such and such, and then I bet it was such and such, and
So
then
it's kind of like one of those movies. It's like a murder mystery movie, basically.
and it had a lot of characters that kind of like play decoys to kind of throw you off the scent. So it had a lot of red herrings in it, but the ending was just terrible. That's the only thing. Like I'll have to give that like an 8. The ending was like a 2.
So okay. Since you say that, let me ask this one question. What do you feel like when it comes to a film? What do you feel like is more important? Like just the begin, how you started off, like how you keep people engaged in the middle, or how it ends.
The journey.
The journey.
Not the whole thing, not necessarily, but the journey through it. What did they go, and did it take you up? Did it take you down? Did it make you cry? Did it pull something out of you? Did you relate to the story? Because like you could have a boring open, and then the middle just pick the fuck up, and then you ride it off into the sunset. You can come in late. You can come in at any point in time. But if you took me through a journey and made me feel something, I like kind of the Avengers storyline. They went 10 years through a fucking journey. The fun that we had during that time. Right now, Phase 4 look kind of like a clusterfuck right now. But
that's because they're bringing in the multiverse.
Yeah, and it's kind of confusing because it was like y'all keep digging out of that bag of tricks so much. But Phase 1 through 3 was a fun time. I didn't even know we was in phases. It was such a fun time. It was just a moment that when we got to the Infinity War, and then we just got, nigga, did we just lead a movie and they lost? Did we? Huh?
Like, are we heartbroken right now?
Yo, our heart was tore up when we left the theaters. It's like, and then everybody waited in the theaters waiting for like a cutscene. Maybe it's going. We ain't get shit. I was like,
all it said, no. All it said was Thanos will return, and I swear everybody.
Oh, he gonna fuck up Mo?
Like everybody in the movie theater was just like, oh my god, what the fuck, like.
But nobody wanted that moment. But it was a needed moment.
That's what made Endgame. That's what made Endgame better.
Right. So it's like sometimes you might not. There might be moments in your.
I ain't gonna lie. It was so fucked up how they had right after Infinity War. They had the sequel to Ant-Man, and then the ending for the sequel to Ant-Man was when they just get like he's lost in the quantum realm because everybody else done got fucking snapped, and he's the only one. He's like, what the fuck? And then that's just where you really see everybody just go, oh shit.
That part I didn't like. That part I didn't like.
Part?
I didn't. Well, their rollout for these last couple, because they're just trying to now. I need my money, versus keeping the storyline how it was. I didn't want them to drop no movies during the time while Thanos was ruling.
I mean, I think for that it was better. It was okay that they did that for Ant-Man because when you got into the quantum realm, like, cause literally him getting lost in the quantum realm and then coming back is literally how they were able to basically save the universe. So you need that kind of story and how they get back into the quantum realm to really kind of understand like what they were gonna do and how their plan was gonna be an endgame. So you had to get introduced to the quantum realm. You did need that introduction. That's why I felt like the sequel to Ant-Man was supposed to be for.
For me, I'm more Ant-Man's Peace Out. I'm not saying that I've seen it and it was good, and maybe it was needed for the story, but my mind never clicks to that moment. My mind clicks as if Thanos won for that whole year before until the next movie came in, and then we just had to just see the pieces get picked back the fuck up. And there were certain people that just and then when it came back and then Stark took his own life, we got hit again. It's like, God dang. But he gone now. he gone. Like they had an actual fucking memorial for fucking this. I like when you have a moment for movie to kind of relate to real life a little bit and have us feel the same way that everybody else in the movie did. That's what I aim for when it comes to movies. I do not like a love story. I do not like a shoot 'em up.
You don't like it to be too much action.
I don't want it too much. I want to go through that craziness. Cause like, what was a movie that was like overly cranked up? Fucking Crank. It was just too much.
I think any movie with like I don't know his last name, but Jason
Statham.
Yeah, it's always those like overly packed action movie kind of thing. It was just that's when I really felt like when they brought him into the Fast and Furious like franchise, I'm like, they're gonna definitely make it.
I liked him in the Transporter now.
Transporter was good. Like, but from other movies he was in, like Death Race. Death Race was fun. No, Death Race was entertaining.
It wasn't a good movie, but it was
like,
just it was
entertaining.
It was an entertaining
like,
movie.
Okay, like I'm not gonna pick it up again and watch this shit. Like I know it's a group movie. I'll say it's just like, hey, you're waiting for certain people to die at certain moments. That's what that is. But if you trying to like, as far as like a go back to movie. Troy sits in that lineup for me. All the Batman series sit in that lineup. Even though that the last one in the Batman series was terrible, it still was needed. What, as far as like which Batman series? You mean with Christian Bale or
Dark Knight?
You thought the last one was terrible?
No, it's still good. I'm just saying, out of the three, it was the weakest one for me. The first one is the second.
Strongest one is always the second.
Second one. And then
Dark Knight Rises is always
and then Begins for me, it really touched on his origin story a little bit more, and then the third one is his weakest one out of that lineup. It was still impactful though, because Bane came in there. I started doing like this for the longest minute.
I feel like when it came to Bane, like when you play like Batman games, and you see how Bane is, and you look at the animated series, and you look at all like the comics, you know, they could have done more with Bane, or was this just more like before he was injected with Venom, with the whole Venom thing?
I think that storyline was before injection.
Okay.
Well, I mean, he was trying to get more of a realistic. I don't think he was trying to go for that. His interpretation was, hey, keep this as grounded as possible. Okay. I don't want him to be superhuman Batman. Okay. I want him to be more street.
Because I was gonna say, like, when it came, like, when they're saying that's Bane, and then when you play an Arkham game, you see how Bane really is. It's like they really downplayed the fuck out of Bane. Because he's the one who broke Batman's back, and it's like, even though we see it in the movie where he just breaks his back, it's just he should be able to kill him. Like. He should be big, like huge, swooped up.
Well, I mean, but like again, it's the writer's interpretation. So if I gave you, if I worked for WB, I was the president of that bad boy, and be like, hey, Eugene, we are ready for a black Batman. Write it. You can't make the same Bane as before. You got to make him now like this black.
I mean,
buff ass nigga.
I mean, technically we do have a black Batman, Batwing.
No, but I'm saying no. We making him that like we're gonna give a black interpretation of Batman. Who we gonna cast now? And then it's just like, all right, oh my goodness, Bane gonna be fucking massive, because any guy that's white that's big, this black dude just like 2 times, 3 times bigger than him. It's just like, God damn, what are you eating? Yeah,
Oh man.
get him to get that.
But speaking of that, HBO Max, like we were talking earlier, HBO Max is gonna come out with a Aztec Mexican version of Batman.
Yeah.
Like animated. I don't know if it's a movie or a series, but they're coming out
Seems
with
like
that.
it's gonna be like a series.
Yeah. But they're coming out with like that kind of style, like, and that kind of interpretation of Batman. How you feel like that's gonna be, like, as a Batman fan?
I mean, if it worked for the Ninja Batman, if it worked for the anime Batman, and I think they did like a Sherlock Holmes type Gaslight.
I ain't gonna lie, that one was pretty good.
Yeah,
Gaslight was actually pretty
so
good.
They
played more into his detective side.
Right.
It played more a lot into him as a detective.
Right. I think this will hit for your hardcore fans, as your general audience. It ain't gonna hit. They ain't gonna touch them. They ain't even gonna hear about it.
I'm just wondering.
You talking about it is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Like, when I found this out, I was like wondering, like, how are they gonna spin this? Like, because there's not, you can't really put too much technology on it unless they're just.
They're probably gonna use the mind technology. That mythical.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, because they said they discovered the electricity before Edison did. So I think they're going to go in that direction. That seems like that's more feasible. Because if you ain't got electricity, then the only other thing I can think of is you going with like a storyline of like what Arrow would go through if Arrow was in Robin Hood times.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to go with it. Let's send this bitch on home, bet.
Yeah, man. All right, this has been an episode of TV Nerds. Here with your host, Esoteric Child. Here with Icey Benjamin.
Gabe, bring your ass.
Oh man, follow us on our YouTube. Follow us on our social medias. Follow us on our Instagram, our TV, or our Twitter. We gonna have our Linktree link on the bottom right here. And I see anything new coming. Any announcements you trying to say?
It's hot outside. These kids just love the heat. That's it.
All right. Let's end this right here.
I keep coming back to you.